going on, y'all? Let me bring this down a little bit. Oh, Lynn, you were on super early. Oh, and guess what? We got a giveaway. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't know, and then Lynn told me. So we're having a giveaway. Lynn will be giving away a coral frag pack, kind of your choice. She's going to be doing some cutting, and I'm going to pay for the shipping. Cool? That works. And I'm getting close to 5,000 on Instagram. Like, I'm 75 away. If we get there, I'll give away a Space Invader. Cool? Okay. What do we got? We got Carlos. Hello, sir. Anthony Rodriguez. Reef Doink. John Silva. B. Taylor. Chris. Scotty. Mother. Kin. Hey, is audio working? Can you hear it? You had me freaking out when you couldn't hear the music. Father from Mobile. How's that drive going? Bruce, how are you, sir? Getting there. Producer Reef, Algae Warrior, Newton, Andrew Newton, Anthony Rodriguez, Aaron. Hello. What else we got? That's it. I'm caught up. Boom. All right, ready? Giveaway. Lynn's going to work with you to figure out what you want. Lower 48 only. I'm paying for shipping. Cool. And then when we hit 5,000 on Instagram, I'll give away a Space Invader. And I got to pull this thing. I got to pull that thing out of my tank. I'll show you pictures in a minute. Cut a couple chunks off of that thing. Cool. You had me freaking out. And then we'll do one of those giveaway. Let's get to this. So you can't see this. Now you can. I did a little of this. I did a little cutting. This is probably the second time I've cut back this business right here. I'm on a good streak with Chato. This is something kind of new. It continues to grow and continues to grow until the fuge reaches its high level, and then it trips and the GHL alarms and it tells me that the fuge is high level, so I go cut it back to make sure that it's working well. Took a sample to work because they're still funky, and I'll continue to say they're funky until I'm totally positive there ain't. But they're still a little funky, so we're going to grow that out, take a look at it, do a little gram stain and a little microscope stuff. We're going to go from there. Also, I'm going to sequence. I'm going to send away for DNA sequencing of 2 products. Maybe 3, but I'm going to start with 2. Vibrant, because I want to know what's in there, because that stuff is evil. So I want to know what it is, because I want to avoid it. And Microbacter 7. We're going to take a peek at what's inside. What's inside doesn't necessarily just have to be equipment, folks. What's inside that bottle? What is that magic juice? I think we're going to take a peek. What's up, William? Thank you. Chato's been great. Yeah, right on. I was doing one of my employees. He retired, so I did a whole bunch of slate going away message lasing for him on the Glowforge. A whole bunch of people signed notes, right, handwritten notes. They gave them to me. I scanned them. I put them in, dropped them into Glowforge, and etched all those notes on slate so he can have those. So he can throw darts at them, or he can... Oh, some were coasters, right? Some were coasters like this. Oh, yeah. Hey, I can make coasters. Hit me up. Talking a little bit still about bacteria. And I was talking to a PhD microbiologist at work. And Cipro seems to be relatively legit. I know Melifex is helpful for brown jelly disease, so even though she calls it tree hugger-ish, I know it to be working. And then witch hazel I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one. I'm not sure I'm going to dose that in my tank anymore, but still kind of working around with that kind of business. I got the custom LED light this week for 5470, just like Reef Bright, and I like it. Doesn't have too much spread as a Reef Bright, but is much brighter. That is totally accurate. If you saw my test on Instagram, that spread is not the same, but it is brighter because it's a lensed light. And I think, depending on how you hang a Reef Bright, if you hang it off the side of a T5 fixture, a whole hell of that light is going right up into the T5 fixture, and a lot of it's going outside of the tank. So you're still losing some of that intensity with the LE bar. That ain't going to happen. So 89 shipped for 36. That's awesome. That's a good price. Excellent. Oopsie. So, yeah, the Neptune dose. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to use Neptune whatever software to program this thing. So I'm going to convert it for use with GHL. I got a couple of GHL goodies coming this way. Parts. So I can modify the dose to run on GHL. So I'm going to make this dose a standalone. It's not going to require a controller. It's going to work all by itself. Because I can. I want to try it. Oh, and here's the exciting part. So inside there, actually I'll show you in a minute. Inside there are two stepper motors. And these pump heads, these come right from China. I mean, this is where they come from. And this is how much each one of those retail costs me to buy. $65. There's shipping involved too. And the shipping's kind of steep, but whatever. Each one of those pump heads and this is with a 4-roller, not a 2-roller that Dose sends you, because that's not all that accurate. Yo, what's up? I can show this. What's going on, Filipino Reefer? Look, see, I said it right that time. $65. So the guts of that pump, $65. Keep that in mind when you're considering how much you pay for that thing. We'll talk about that later, too. Also, see, like I said, these are the steppers. And those, I mean, it's the same thing as this. It's that. It's exactly that, except it's a 2-roller. I was doing some testing with, see, similar head that I got from the manufacturer themselves, playing with a 12-volt battery. Powering that thing. It's a 24-volt motor, but it works just fine at 12 volts, and it's about 30 mils a minute. I'm going to be playing with that. I'm going to change that motor out. What's this? There's Reefapalooza talk. Melifix worked on my torsos. That's awesome. One head died, but the other's completely fine. That's good. That's the way it's supposed to be, Arkin. I'm glad that worked out for you. Thinking about going to my first one in New York. Chris, I have been to one a couple years ago. I don't know. I'm not sure. Plus, I got a work deadline due like that weekend. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Maybe come up for a day, but I doubt it. We'll see. Hopefully there will be a video of my conversion of the pump to GHL. Is that what you're asking? We'll certainly talk about it on the stream. Yeah, the Dose is a noisemaker. I attribute that a lot to the cheapy plastic, because really it is kind of cheapy plastic. I don't know. This thing, well, whatever. We'll talk about it. There's a space. So this is interesting. So this Space Invader and this Space Invader are the exact same Space Invaders. In fact, this was a frag from this. So when we get to 5,000 over on Instagram and I frag you one, this is what it can grow to be. But this has been hanging out in Justin's tank. Maybe I showed this already. I did last week. Different picture. Note how his grows like this and it actually really reaches. Mine is a ball, which has to be flow, right? What else would it be? I don't know. Let me know if you know, because that'd be cool. Speaking of Lynn. Let's see, 65. No, 65, William, 65 for one of those. So one head and one stepper motor, retail price. So not what Neptune's paying for them, but retail for me is $65 a piece. Speaking of dosing, what do you think about the new Red Sea dose? I don't have an opinion on the Red Sea dose because I haven't played with it, Taylor. All I know is it's been freaking 3 years, right? Yes, since that thing was announced, and it's about damn time. And what's the price? They had a 2 and a 4 head, right? The heads looked familiar. I've seen them before, so it'll be interesting to see what they're using there. I didn't see any pricing on that thing yet. My guess is it's going to be overpriced, but we'll see. I hope it works better than the lights. First time Sunday afternoon. Filipino Reefer. You're going Reefapalooza Sunday afternoon? You looking for deals, aren't you? That's a smart move. Yeah, Nicholas, I'll share how I did it. I'm also thinking it doesn't need to look like this, right? Because this is stupid looking. How come it's not a rectangle? Make it a rectangle. What's with Neptune and whatever? You know how I feel about that stuff. Make it a rectangle. What's wrong with rectangles? So, Aaron, let's talk about that in a minute. So, Tropic Marin salt is just ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. The hype is ridiculous. I just don't get it. I feel bad for all the people who have always used this salt, right? Like, I think I'm in a position now where I need to start hunting for a different salt because here's how we roll, people. Ready? Why mess with a fruit? Let me give it a little squirty squirt. I'm in a position where I may have to come up with a different salt because I'm watching HW stock at Bulk Resupply, and it continues to drop. There was like 1,100 boxes of that stuff there. Now it's like 300. So people have been buying it. See, I shouldn't have talked about it. So for the people who have always used Tropic Marin salt, I feel you. That sucks. So BRS strikes this deal, right? You know damn well the margins on this salt are ridiculous. Tropic Marin puts out some statement about how the price to ship has gotten more expensive. They're also building 2 more manufacturing facilities. Those aren't cheap. They're raising the wholesale price, which ultimately raises the map price of that salt just to cover all of that stuff. So what they did is they raised their map price to cover the expected losses to the retailers because the wholesale pricing was going to increase, so the retailers would lose some money. So Tropic Marin raises their map price to match what they think they should be selling it for. Screw that. I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever. There's other salts. For me, I'm looking for a DKH of 8. That's low. I think that's 7. So that's not my thing. So I've never used that salt anyway because I don't want to have to adjust fresh mixed salt. So I've been using HW Marine Mix Reefer. And if that goes away, then I'm going to look at Fritz Blue Bucket or Red Sea Blue Bucket. Either one of those will work just fine for me. I'm certainly not going to chase a salt that's never available. And seriously, $115 for like 200-gallon bucket of salt? Hell no. That's just stupid. Maybe I'm supposed to seize a Holy Grail torch on maxed out livestock. You get it. You find something there. They're so expensive. They're probably going to... You got to find a local reefer. Because they'll hook you up for a whole lot less than what you're going to get it for at a show. If you're able to lower the speed, increase the time it runs, should help against air bubbles. So my dose keeps getting air bubbles in the tubing, which throws off my dosing. I've changed the tubing and heads, still jacked, getting quite annoyed. Where? Where do you get the bubbles? You're getting the bubbles coming out of here, or coming where are the bubbles? Are they traveling up the tube, or are they traveling down the tube? Which one? Help me understand. Air bubbles are always tubing leak. It's the only way you get an air bubble. So somewhere in there, your tubing is leaking. If you're able to, yeah, you should be able to run. Cleveland, you should be able to. Hey, Chris, you should be able to. You should be able to run the crap out of this pump max speed with no air bubbles, as long as there's no leak in the tubing. You mind if I mention who you are, Chris? Now I'm putting you on the spot. If you're 350 for forehead, 350. I mean, 350 is not horrible, is it? I gotta look. GHL doser $2. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how well that doser is received and if it actually does ship. Is this shipping in Europe? Is it already available over there? Reef crystals work just fine. Yes, Scotty, totally. Two things, though, with reef crystals. I see them always listed as 11 DKH. And I can't do that. I need closer to 8. I don't need that high. I don't want that high. If I do a water change, it's going to throw off my alkalinity. I don't want to do that because I always buy a salt that matches my well, first that I can buy, and then that matches my alkalinity, right? I don't want to have to do something. I don't know. Whatever. You can't lower DKH, right? I don't want to have to fiddle with it. I also see it. Some share their buckets at 8 DKH, and if that's the case, that's cool. Then I can deal with Instant Ocean, but I want something close to 8. 118-ish. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Down the tube to the sump. So it's on the outlet side, yeah? No, it's sucking in here. So this is where your leak is. Your leak's right here on the inlet side. This is the only place it can be. Unless you take this apart, which you can, and then this zip tie in this pump is not secure, and it's allowing in air right there somewhere on your suction side. And if you're not getting air up the suction side line, then it's totally at that junction or inside there with that little zip tie. If you haven't replaced this tubing, consider it. Okay? What's up, Sleeves? I miss the days when Petco would have sales on Tropic Marine for like $50. That's before the hype. Fuse Live Aquarium. Somebody makes that, right? Who makes that for them? Reef Crystals, Instant Ocean, Tropic Marine Pro is so clean. Yeah, I bet there's others that are clean. Right? HW Marine, clean. It's the same. Also, I think that clean is super hyped. So if you're mixing big batches of salt water and storing them for months on end, then I kind of get it. I've also seen messages of people that have dirty Tropic Marine mixes. Like just this weekend, somebody's bailing because it's getting a little swampy in their barrel. I don't know, whatever. Get a salt that you can buy that's reasonably priced that matches your parameters. That's it. Running a 1.1 doser all night, constant for calc. Anyone know how long the tubing will last? Yeah, Bert, the tubing's going to last forever. The gearbox inside that doser will fail before your tubing will. That thing will start making noise in a month or two. Just give it time. It'll eventually do it, because that's how I was running mine. And then it just gets to the point where that gearbox gives up. I think it just gets too warm and craps out. Take a look inside. You'll see what I'm talking about. Red Sea bluish, 8-ish. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's either that or Fritz. You replace the whole head. You have to be pulling bubbles up from the suction side then, right? You got to be. How clean is Brightwell? Haven't used it. I think BRS did a thing. I also think the whole... whatever. I think that's all hype. I think what your mix bucket looks like I think a lot of that is hype. Get a salt that matches your parameters that you're able to buy, and that's reasonably priced. That's it. And clean your stupid mix bucket. Unless it's huge, in which case, then you got to figure out what to do. Yeah. So all for reef was always a problem for me, Chris. Whatever. I don't get it. They can't stock. Tropic Marin has never been able to stock their stuff. So I'm out. This thing. Oh, we could talk about this. Let's get off salt, because we get stuck on that. And it turns into the salt talk. If I can't buy HW, I'm going to buy Fritz Blue or Red Sea Blue. Whichever one I can get here. Whichever one. I got how many bucks? I got half a bucket and 2 boxes of HW. So I'm probably good for a year or two. But when it's time to buy salt, maybe HW be in stock again. This thing. This is the Relisy something. This is the new Relisy. It's Z Bravo AL08. You like how I did that? Alpha Lima 08. ZBAL08. Look, y'all know I test a lot of lights. It's kind of my jam. I dig it. I bust out the spectrometer, wherever the crap that thing is. Here it is. And I bust out, well, in this particular case, I had to go get Moki's par meter that's hanging on the shelf over here, because I had loaned mine out. Or Shane's. That little light has the spread and par of a Gen 4 XR30 with a diffuser. What's up, Phil? Hey, Phil, your tank always looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, how come people choose all for reef instead of like calc? Is it just because of the trace? Because that's easy enough. I'd make some calc with some trace and call it done. Algie, were you talking about this thing, about the Relisy? So here's where it gets fun. I said in my post that... Wait, let me turn this off. We can talk about this. Well, I'm going to show data in a minute. Mars Aqua called, and they want their light back. Because seriously. Plug. Switch. 2 knobs. And one of those universal doohickey plug jobbers for like every country almost. Not a cool topside. It doesn't look that good at all, right? It's kind of stupid. The fans are a little loud, but holy crap, does this light have spread? So Relisy hit me up. They're like, "Hey, if you buy this light and do a review, then we'll refund you." And I didn't reply. So I just bought the stupid light myself. because that's easier than whatever. Feeling as if I have this odd obligation to Relicy. So I bought it myself. They weren't involved. So, amazing spread, which I can show here. See this 73? Go take a look at Bulk Resupplies Radion spread videos. I'll wait here. No, I won't. So, and look at these par numbers. This is always, as always, 24 inches, open air, above the par meter. It's pulling 78 watts, which is freakish that it's pulling like 80 watts and putting out these numbers. But the spread is insane at 73. 73% of this. I was blown away with an average par of 168. So this light above a 40 breeder, about 9 inches above, is going to light the bottom about 150 par. And this thing, I mean, except for its horrible freaking spectrum, would grow corals. This little red bump, way wrong place. It's supposed to be over here. And this is just 270 nanometer, and that sucks out loud. So if you already had, like, you all know I like that 270 bar, right? Because we're always supplementing some other light. The light doesn't need to be the 270 light source. The bar should. So in this case, if you bought this light for $120, that's what they go for, and then you got yourself an AliExpress bar at 24 inch for $60, custom, with 450 and 420 nanometer, then you'd have all the spectrum you need to grow corals. Forget the red. Just don't even chase that at all. For $180. You get 2 of these over a 40 breeder with 2 AliExpress bar customs, 450 and 420. You got the spread and par of a Gen 4 XR30 and a spectrum that damn near aligns with AB+. Something to consider. If you're in the market for cheap light, this doesn't suck. The spread is insanely good. It's better than any other light, any other budget light that I've tested. Nothing comes close. That's because it doesn't have reflectors, right? I mean, it has all those little individual jobbers on there. Little SMC LEDs. Pretty interesting. All right, catch up. Yeah, this light is kind of thick. Replacing battery. I just did that before the stream because of stupid. I don't know if my mouse talks to my keyboard and that's how it talks to the computer, but something was happening. How far above the water line? 9 inches. I did use an aqua lifter for calc. Super slow strip. How long did they usually last? That pump lasted a really long time. I don't know how long, Bert. A year or two? 2 years? Probably. I think your aqua lifters on overflows used to last about 4 to 6 months. I have had, no kidding, an aqua lifter on my on your overflow. Yeah, but it sucks up stuff. I've had an aqua lifter pulling ATO duty for at least 5 years. No lie. That one is a hoss. What's up, Tristan? Chris, did you say something? Did you say I could say something? I probably missed it. You probably didn't. You probably ignored me. You're smart. Where is this light being sold? William, this is on Amazon. So if you just look up Relicy, RELASSY, you'll find it. You're gonna need another light. You will need another light. Blue at 100%. White. Oh, I don't know. It sort of shows 10%, but I have a feeling that every one of these is probably a little different. So white at 10%, blue at 100%. doesn't suck. Just the spectrum sucks. And you're going to need to do something about that. You're going to have to add another light to this. Yeah, I got to play with dosers and batteries and whatever. Crew Dragon came back this morning. It was pretty sweet. They had a nice ride back. Always good to see that work. So I decided to take the battery outside. This is a 24-volt Jabo driver on a Jabo SLW10 in a tub of water that I've since moved to my garage because it's going to rain. My battery, Big Red, is powering. Big Red's a 12-volt battery. And Big Red, through a step-up, is powering this 24-volt driver at 24 volts. It's clean. And I'm going to let it run. And we're going to see what this is really going to tell me is my amp hour of a battery with step-up loss. So I'm just going to run this. I mean, so far it's been running all day. The voltage hasn't dropped at all. I think this is probably going to run for 4 days. So we'll see. Started today, midday. I can see what time I took this picture. 11 hours ago is when I started, right? So there you go. 9 a.m. is when I threw that out there. So we're going to see how long it goes. We'll be able to figure that out. Look, I keep seeing this. People posting their damn posters. Miller needs to make posters, and they need to make stickers, and they need to make T-shirts, and people get, oh my God, it's so exciting to clean my pumps. Just buy some freaking Miller citric acid, mix it up to the same concentration as CJ Pump Clean, and poof, it does the same thing for like way, way less. If you want to get the bulk stuff, then you could really do it less. But I was like, whatever. You don't need to buy that fancy stuff. Unless you want to. I mean, if you want to. If you like their T-shirts. I'm just saying. Back when Twitter was new and Twitter was inaccessible, it was fail whale. All right, that's enough of that. All right, Chris. Hey, everybody, that K Cleveland right there, that's Chris. He's the guy that came up with the what'd you call it? You called it an educator. That is the dude who originally designed. Let's see, dead air. That dude Chris is who originally. What happened to my lights? That's a dude who originally designed this thing. If you follow back in the Wayback Machine, Internet Archive, you can clearly see when this thing was posted to Thingiverse and a couple other locations. Right? This is a modified version of his that I made for Slip for PVC, so we could do some testing. Try to visualize those vortices with smoke through this Venturi holes, that kind of thing. I've talked about that before. But Chris is the dude. If you have any questions, he's in the chat. Hit him up. He was very kind and gave me the design, emailed it to me, which was super cool. And I thought that was nice. It was a cool conversation. Got to learn some stuff. Some stuff I kind of already figured. It was more confirmation, I suppose. You recalibrated your pH meter. Did you let it sit? Hey, Lynn, did you let it sit in the pH solution for a really long time before calibration? Because that's what I do. I let all my pH meters just sort of sit in the juice forever before I calibrate them. It seems to equalize them a little better. On the topic of lights, I just built out 80/20 LED bracket. Yeah, cool. Get 2 LED systems going. 4 LEDs, including a luminescence. That's awesome, Anthony. Or for probably mounted on the wall. Let me know if you want an image. Is it similar to what Devin did? Because that was pretty sweet. The way he hung his off the wall. Reef dudes? Sorry, catching up. Regarding a pump with battery on a charger. Will that damage the life? No. William, so You talking about this one? Or are you talking about, I suppose you could be talking about this one too. Either way, it's the same thing. Because there is a BMS on here. And I am hooked, obviously, right there. Oh, see, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Because there is a BMS on the battery. And my negative is hooked to the BMS, and my positive is hooked to the positive of the battery. So the BMS is totally managing the voltage of the cells. When the cells get to the cutoff voltage, the BMS will turn off the electricity to the pump, and you won't damage the cells. You should always have a BMS, whether you're playing with 18650s or lithium iron phosphate. Make sure you have a BMS. Does that help? Hope that helps. What would you use for an ATO pump, automated top-off pump, in a garage pushing to the main display in the house? Vertical is about 12 to 15 feet, and about... Nicholas, I'd totally use peristaltic, but you got to get one that's going to move a lot of water. So you need a big head peristaltic with a stepper. That's probably the best way to do it. Retail, like if you have an Apex, the dose is going to do it for you. If you have a GHL, you can modify the dose to work with a GHL. Ecotech's Versa, they should start making that again soon. Once they get manufacturing in the other facility all spun up, that's also an option. I wouldn't use a little head. I wouldn't use a little head doser. You need a big head doser for that kind of action. Those steps are 96% efficiency. Yeah, that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking to prove. I hope to be able to figure that out. I should be able to. It should work. I think it's probably going to go. Oh, it's actually going to go way more than 4 days. That could run 6 days. I don't know. We're going to find out. I didn't capacity test that battery, so I guess we'll find out. 24 HCl only for my stuff. Catching up. I need to get to this. Yeah, I like Citrix. Citrix easy. Citrix easy to use. You just get it in there, get it moving, and you're done. On Thingiverse. Aquatic Aura, if you find it on Thingiverse, you'll also find a modified version that I made, and then if you hit up if you hit up Oceanbox Designs, he has also modified my modification and made it better. So, mine's on Thingiverse, and I can absolutely share the one that Oceanbox Design made. So hit me up on Instagram, and I can share you the STL. Agreed, Tristan, and thank you for your help. It was for people free, not for commercial use. That's correct. It was for people free, and the license did say not for commercial use. And I've respected that license, and then you and I talked. And I still think it's pretty cool that we got to chat. Bonjour, Monsieur Splendeur. You've been funny with your English lately. You know I enjoy that. And you type the longest damn DMs on the planet. Ever. By anyone. Wait a minute. Do you know a dosing product that can increase pH and alkalinity aggressively? Yes. You can use sodium hydroxide, and you can that stuff is so soluble, you can just put a whole freaking ton of that stuff in a liter of water. So it'll work. Or supersaturated calcium hydroxide, either one. I know you're doing this battle. Calcium hydroxide will work. If you want to mix it, so I'm not a mixer, but if you want to do a little mix thingy, that keeps your calcium hydroxide super, super saturated such that it's damn near a slurry, and then you dose that with a peristaltic, that will get you what you're after. I'm positive of it. See, there's some love going on. I like that. Yeah, not guts. Guys, agreed. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the educator nozzle, this Vortex Venturi nozzle was, it certainly wasn't original when it was offered up via retail, and it was original. It was Chris's original design, period. Do you use a Prusa? Do I use Prusa? I was using Cura. Reef Doink. I was using Cura. And then, because I have this love-hate thing with the Prusa slicer, and then I went back to it, and my prints are just, especially with PETG and Prusa was a big pain in the ass. I just couldn't get it to work right. And it's me. It's my fault. I know Prusa could do it. Cura can do it. But then I moved with just whatever. I moved over to Prusa. Actually, what I was printing, and you really can't see it, but inside there are these little freaking little fins, little veins. And those little veins can get a little tricky. And I moved it over the Prusa slicer like a champ. I don't know. I get way less strings with Prusa. And I've got reverse, and I've got whatever. I got all that stuff set, and I just, whatever. Didn't work. Didn't work for me. Yeah, Tristan, it was super cool of you to offer. Super cool of you to connect us. And I like that you continue to get the help from Chris. Chris is cool. See, that's the way this hobby should be. Make something cool, share it, and continue sharing it years later. Off Hardware talking. Does anyone know QT corals because of fish parasites? I'm getting tired of my display tank. You QT your corals for 60 days, Aaron? You're a good man. I wish I did that. I mean, it's been a long time since I put corals in my tank, I suppose, but that's cool if you do that. That's the right way. So many sharks in the industry. So much greed. There's so much greed. Ugh. I've said it on Instagram. Go to the parking lots of these manufacturers. You'll see the greed. Supercars. Don't, Nicholas, don't apologize for your long-ass DMs. I'm cool with it. Eventually, I figure out what you're trying to tell me. All right, let's get to this. Let me turn this on. So I took apart the dose. And I took apart the dose for a couple of different reasons. Can you see that? You can see that. I don't know what the hell this is. It's a piece of cut something, and it's totally hot. It's a sticker, right? This is a sticker that covers up this. This is some sticker with some tubing that carries the LED light. That's also totally hot glued up to make this illuminate, which is so stupid. So this board, I don't. What do these things go for? Somebody look real quick and tell me what these things go for. Corona, Nicholas. Oh, can I share something? You know what I hate about Neptune? This is a 5-volt connector. USB. See, they're not even paying for USB licensing. They're just using a USB connector. And it's not 5 volts. It's something ridiculous. It's probably 12 or 24 volts coming out of this thing. They're using the connectors, but they certainly didn't license USB for use in this thing, which I still don't understand the cost, but whatever. I can't stand that isn't 5 volts. Because people are going to plug something in there. They'll be like, damn, I'm going to plug something in there. And bzzzt, it fries it. Guess how I know? So legit, all I did was take the cover off, and that's what it looks like. So it's to retail price, $65. Neptune ships with 2 roller heads. So when this thing says it's assembled in the United States, which means I think it's hot glued in the United States. That's what that means. So you can't catch this with a GoPro, but there's like the wires are looped around and they're legit hot glued because there's hot glue strings in here from somebody going over here, right over here. That's how they held the wires in place to the case. They hot glued it. Hot glue is for hobbyists, not for manufacturers of like what the hobby considers to be top of the line or elite or whatever. So you can buy these, right? And guess what? They're exactly the same, right? You could buy this stuff directly from the manufacturer if you want. They sell this pump set with both 24-volt motor, which this one is, or a 24-volt stepper. NEMA 17, maybe? What are these? Whatever. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to convert this to a stepper, and I'm going to use 2 of these. Because I got another one over here. And I'm going to see. This is a 24-volt motor one. I'm going to run this. I'm going to make my own GHL Maxi. So using these with the stepper motors there, I'm going to create a GHL Maxi. I'm also thinking about doing it with a BRS pump head, but whatever, I'll get there. Looking at you, Bert. I'm also going to take this Neptune dose, and I'm going to take it out of its butt-ass nasty looking case, and I'm gonna get rid of this board, and I'm going to replace it with a GHL board, and you know what? I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to leave it in this case for now, and I'm just going to replace the board and turn this into, oh, you know what? It'll fit. Oh, yeah, totally. By the way, these little feet are cheap. And this is a paper sticker. You think this is added in the United States with the little flag? This is paper. This is like printed on somebody's laser printer somewhere. I'm going to turn this into a Maxi, into a GHL Maxi. And I think I'm going to keep it in its form factor for now. Maybe I'll have the kid 3D print me something later. But that's what I'm going to do for now. All right, that's the current move. And then, Bert, back to you. I'm also considering, once I prove to myself that I can pull this off, and I think I can, I'm going to take 2 of these BRS dosers, and I'm going to, instead of using the AC that's in here or the worm drive that I have modified this with, I'm going to use a stepper on this head and create a GHL Maxi from BRS pump heads. Right? That should work. I think I could do that. What do you think? Think I can do that? I think I can do that. So, concurrently, then I'm also working on my own solution, partnered with a buddy of mine who's a wizard with this kind of stuff, to be able to offer a similar solution, certainly not as capable as the GHL solution, but something that should be able to work for like water changes, or you know, something where you would want a big doser. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. All right, let me catch up. What's up, May? $299. $299 for this pump? $299 for this? $300. 65. They're making 100% margin on that pump. Did I make a noise when I was hot gluing? My bad, Taylor. My bad. Yeah, Chris, so where I've personally seen hot glue in reefing is in, so others don't use hot glue. Others use something else. It's some sort of conformal something. It's almost an epoxy. Where I've seen hot glue in reefing is Neptune now, and Reef Bright. Inside the Reef Bright it's held together with hot glue. The 24-inch was. My newer Reef Bright was held together with hot glue. That's what held the reflector in place. Just tagged me in an Instagram post with a light fixture. Thanks, Anthony. That's cool. Could you use 2 for auto water change? Could I use 2? Could I just use 2 of these for auto water change? 100%. Absolutely. You put this on a timer, you totally can. What you should do is understand, you can't see, and I'm sitting there pointing at it and everything. Could you use 2 of these for auto water change? Yeah, and these are cheaper than the $65 with the steppers. This was relatively inexpensive because it's just got a 24 volt. So you get a 24 volt power supply. You get 2 of these, and you run one forward and run one backwards. Like legit, you just take the wires and do this, and it'll run backwards. Or you just run them both the same way, and you figure that out. Whatever. Put them on a timer. Make sure make sure that what they're dosing per minute is about the same, and you could figure that out with time. Done. 2 of these on an outlet plug on a controller or just a timer, and this will work for auto water change. Totally. Could you use 2 for? Yep. I'm looking at you. I believe you can. If anyone can, I'm gonna figure that. Whatever. I am certain, because if you look inside a GHL Maxi, it's the same. I think these are the same. And even the wire color is the same. So all I got to do is do a little swap here, take these off. By the way, don't get me started on this solder job. And, yeah, don't get me started on a solder job. I don't know why they put them so close together. B, why isn't it a socket? Because all of these have these, and the other end also has a plug. Why isn't there a socket on this board? What, that cost too much? This board comes out. Those lights turn blue. I'll take these off, replace these with the blues, and we'll whatever. We'll figure out how to make us a little GHL on here. And then this will be the standalone. I think this one will be the one where I could use anywhere because it doesn't need to run off the controller. And then the one I make with these, or with this, the BRS head, I think that's going to be a slave unit. I wonder if I could make a 4-head biggie. Oh, I bet I could. I totally could. I could put it inside the same enclosure and just get 2 boards. Yeah, that'd be sweet, right? I don't know. That's probably a little crazy. But that's what I'm going to do. What else? I don't think I have anything else else to show. I don't think I have anything else to show. This is the other blue head. These are the oranges that I took off the dose originally because they've been running 4 roller heads because 4 roller is quieter than 2. This is a Welco, and I really like this. This is, if I was designing a 4-head small doser, I would totally use Welco. I don't know who's using these things, but they're not friction pump heads. They come off that easily, right? It's a keyed, just like this, how this is a little key, a little star key. These little jobbers are a 3-lobe star. And this is so nice. This is so cool. Like if I made a doser, it would have these heads because these are really nice heads. They're easy to replace the tubing. They're quiet. They really, really work well. And you drive this little sucker on 12 volts, and it is awesome. I bought this used off of eBay because you got to be a manufacturer to buy these things, which I think is stupid. So I don't know. You just buy them off eBay. That's what I did. I need to find another source for these. Or what I need to do is find an AliExpress source who has copied this design, because then that's good enough for me. I'm cool with that. Or at least got close. That way it's not friction. Why aren't you designing one? I don't need to design one, May. I'm not good like that. Totally not good like that. I suck at new things. But obviously, I like modifying. And that's how I've always been. I'm not at all good at making my own stuff, like coming up with my own design. When I could just find one that's close to what I'd like and then see how it breaks or see if it doesn't break and see if I can make it better, that kind of thing. That's what I like doing. I totally like mashups, like song mashups. And so if I can turn this head, this whole thing into a standalone GHL doser, that's totally what I'm going to do, because that's an equipment mashup, right? I'm excited to do this one, actually, because I think it's going to work. I don't think I'm going to break it. I think it's going to work. Can you buy a GHL board separately? Yep. I did 2 of them. What kind of dosing rate are you going to get with a BRS 1.1 with stepper motors? So BRS with the same head with a different gearbox is getting what? 50 ml? If I remember right, 50 ml per minute. So realistically, I should be able to get 500 milliliters per minute. Maybe higher, maybe 600. It kind of depends on how much oomph the steppers have. I mean, I bought the same size steppers that are living in here. I didn't see what the... Yeah, see? Holy hell, that thing's got a wire. It's the same size. Oh, you can't see that because I'm an idiot again. These are the little steppers I bought that I'm going to fiddle with. And they're NEMA 17s. They're the exact same size as the one there. So all I'm going to do is figure out how to take this and adapt it to this, which should be pretty much straightforward. The bolts all line up. This is the weirdest bolt pattern thing. This one's weird. Why did they do it this way? Oh, this is going to suck. Now I got to decide if I really like this, because I got to screw it in through the other way. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure that out. Yeah. So I should be able to do that, right? That's the plan. Molson, happy to help. I hope it worked. Looking at the pool dosing pumps, maybe it's accurate, but could get you there. Yeah, so that's interesting. You don't need a lot of accuracy if you're just going to do a water change pump. You just need it to last. You need it to not break. You need it to be able to tough it out for a year or two without changing out the pump head tubing. Chris, they're probably similar to boiler, chemical injection, peristaltics. Those things are beasts. They're very, or whatever. You just stick it back there and they run forever. I suspect those are the same as pool supply peristaltics. Anybody got questions? Let's hit questions. Let's do question time. What did we talk about? We talked about this Relisy light sitting over here. Killer spread, killer par, crap spectrum. Add an AliExpress bar for 450 and 420 nanometer, and you have decent lighting. Again, 2 bars. What do you got? 2 of these lights, so $240 for 2, plus another $120 for custom bars. I mean, you're still looking. That's pretty good money. That's not bad. You're lighting a 40 breeder really well at that point, maybe even bigger. We talked about stepper motors. We talked about the hot glue dose. That's totally overpriced for what it is. We talked about it's not 5 volts USB, so I know they're not paying for licensing. We talked about these fancy big rollers, which also happen to be the same size as a dose, because this is where they are getting their heads and their motors. I mean, the thing comes as a kit right from the manufacturer, and it's hot glued in America. Hot glued in America. And we talked about fiddling with that BRS pump and my battery. Four gallons per week dosed. Fish and wall, I would do a timer and not an aqua lifter. I would do this, and Bert already said it. This is not this one, because this has been modified, but this is the BRS 1.1. You could find these for like $40-50 on eBay, or they're like $70 brand new from BRS. One of these on a timer is how you should dose calc for 4 gallons per week. Totally. This will do this for you. You don't need to run it constantly. You can set up your timer to run it once an hour for a particular amount. That's what I would do. I would totally use this pump all day long to do that duty. If a Camor X1 did more than 12 doses in a day, then I would suggest that. But this in a timer is certainly more robust. This tubing is good. It lasts forever. And you should consider trying this. This pump with a timer at 4 gallons a week will absolutely work. Oh, I got 2 more lights to test. What do I got? I got this fake Noop over here, which I still need to do. I haven't done that yet. I'll figure that out. And I have another Red Sea 90 knockoff coming as well. All right, giveaway time. Let's do a giveaway. Lynn, you still there? I think it's time to do a giveaway. I happen to have a number written on my monitor right now. It's written on a green sticky. Sitting right there. How many we got? We got 1010 recommend dose of calc 24-hour trip. Yep. Calc is the way to go. been talking with somebody who is working on a method of saturating calc so you can even control your calc really well. Well, there it is. Bert's throwing out numbers. 0 to 50. We're sitting at 49 people right now. Pick a number, 0 to 50. First one wins. My number's right there on a sticky. And you get a coral pack. Not international. Lower 48 U.S. Sorry, Taylor. 0 to 50. 61's a little high, Andrew. You get a coral pack from Lynn Reef Nerd, and I pay for the shipping. And if you get me up to 5,000 on Instagram, I'll give away a Pectinia Space Invader. I haven't seen it. Did you see it, Lynn? I saw it, and I'm psyched. I'm making sure it was the first one. Have you ever thought about testing the Seta 2? I haven't, Algae Warrior. Should I? I appreciate Andrew, I can appreciate your going in early. Yeah, we do have a winner. I was just making sure there wasn't one before that. We will find this incredibly awesome. Actually, I do, for several reasons. Lynn, I'm confirming with you via Messenger to make sure you see what I see. Yep, you see what I see. 17. There it is. Bert, we would make more room for you. We'd find more room for you, buddy. All right, Chris. Congrats, dude. Thank you again also for your help. It was super cool to chat with you. We'll talk on the phone one day maybe. You'll coordinate with Lynn. I'll take care of the shipping. And off it goes. Tristan, that's funny you threw out that number too. All right, y'all. What else do we got to talk about? Do we have anything to talk about? We can talk about anything you want. 50 people on. How many likes we got? I didn't even look. 22. Give a brother a thumb if you got it. Pendant light app controllability. Let me write it down. Hold on. There was a whole bunch of numbers. Send it to me again. I'm scrolling back through the numbers. There's some fun ones in there. Seta 2. Writing that down. What do I do with my pen? Will they send me one? I'll pay for shipping. I'll always pay for shipping. Y'all heard that story. I hit up ATI. I was like, can I have a demo unit, please? I'll pay for shipping both ways. I really want to test your LED. No, but thank you. Your consolation prize is you can pick from some T5 bulbs that I'll never use or an ICP test. And you have to post about it. Say nice things. No thanks. I got one. You know, this has now made it so I have to get my brand new 150-gallon tank up and running. It's been sitting for 3 years untouched. Chris, you're gonna make me hold this. You're gonna make me hold this frag pack from Lynn. That's funny. Get your damn tank together, man. Go get you some Dr. Tim's One and Only and throw some water in there and drop in the magic juice and hurry up. That's very cool. So again, Chris is the originator, the educator, the Vortex Venturi nozzle, and pretty cool that he's hanging out with us tonight. Only correlate STN was Oregon Tort, Red Dragon. No more STN. Fingers crossed forever. Roger that. I don't have any more STN, and I only have a couple acros in there, but I don't have any more STN. So I'm just gonna whatever. I'm gonna pretend nothing ever happened. I'm also not gonna put any coral in the tank for a while. Any preference to what trace elements to start using with dosing 2-part versus calc dosing starting a new tank? So you don't need to dose a new tank, right? Unless you already know what you're doing and you're going to drop some stuff in that tank that's already going to consume alkalinity, you don't need to dose a new tank. I really don't recommend dosing unless you're pulling more than 0.5 DKH in a 24-hour period. If you're going to pull that much, right, if uptake is going to be that much, then consider dosing. And if you're going to consider dosing, start with calc. Start with Kalkwasser. I don't think there's a better way to do it. Start with calc. And you don't ever have to stop calc. If your corals get to the point where they're taking more alkalinity than you're providing with calc, then add 2-part on top of that. But I wouldn't dose a brand new tank. I would only dose if alkalinity testing suggests you need to dose. Anthony Rodriguez, I will check it out. Red Sea dosing pump thoughts. Andrew, we talked about that a little bit. I don't have thoughts on it because I haven't touched it. I haven't used it. I'm a Red Sea products user. I use Red Sea Trace Colors. I'm going to use their salt if I can't get HW Marine. I'm pretty certain they're not going to send me a pump to fiddle with to try. So I probably won't ever have like personal thoughts on the pump. Only if I get my hands on one. Only if somebody close here gets one and I can play with it and try it, that kind of thing. That's the only time I'm going to have an opinion, really. Bird, I'm glad your corals are doing a little better. Battery coral box power cell. It's a lead battery, but doesn't seem to be high price as the Eco Tank. Who's this? What coral box? You're going to make me look. I mean, if you want me to look real time, I'll totally do it. Coral box. Why are we still using lead acid batteries? That's what I want to know. Coral box power cell? It already pisses me off. I don't like that name. Coral box power cell for Jabo. Fish Street selling it? No. It's the same damn thing as the ice cap. If it's 2.5 amp hour, it's the same thing as the ice cap. Like exactly. Do they give you an amp hour? They give you all these stupid specs that you don't want to pay. Oh, there it is. VRLA. 3.6 amp hour. How much is it? How much is it in the US? This is killing me. Holy sh! It's $145? Go to Amazon and search for a lead acid battery that's 6.5 amp hours. It's going to be $15. Probably. Hold on, let me get back up. Tristan, I'll always recommend calc over Alpha Reef because you can get calc. You don't want to be looking for the stuff that you've been dosing for a while. You don't want to have to worry about making it. Like, you got to mix up your own Alpha Reef. If you can't buy it, then it's just not worth trying, right? So I would totally do calc over Alpha Reef all day long. And I did all free for a while. Calc just makes more sense. It's more economical. It's totally effective. It's easy to work with. And you can buy it. Taylor, you see what I'm saying? Maybe you've commented already. That, other than it being a 6.5 amp hour battery, that's what the picture shows? It looks almost identical to the 3.6. My bad. Holy crap, that's horrible. 3.6 amp hour. It looks like. Does it do anything? Like, does it cook me dinner or something? What's it do? It has to do something for that kind of money. No. See, that's embarrassing. So glad I went. Calc, Roger, always there. Always happy to help, Anthony. You know that. Super Molson. I dosed my main tank already with 2-part mag. Never ventured into calc. Like an idiot now. I'm afraid to start calc in a tank. No. Super Molson, you can do that. All you got to do is use a calculator and subtract out like half of what you're doing with 2-part, and then use the same calculator to add back in. Thank you, May. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much. To add back in with calc. You could do that. As long as you're not going to fill your sump up or whatever with too much calc, because it takes a lot of calc. You can totally do that. Does that make sense? You could do it. Subtract away some 2-part, replace it with calc, and you'll be fine. There's no problem with that. Actually, you may see it's going to be interesting to see what your 2-part does. Just pay attention to it. Calc over everything, then supplement 2-part as needed. Agreed, Bert. That is 100% the way to go. Start with calc, stay with calc. Even if you then later add in a calcium reactor or you add in 2-part, right? Always start with calc, stay with calc, and add on top. Did you get to look at the light video I sent you? No, but I did, and I will. And thank you. The Russian light? Is that the one? That big light bar? But I will. What should I use to dose calc? What should I use to dose calc? What should, like, Lynn, are you asking? Thank you, Algae Warrior. Hold on. Lynn, hit me up. Tell me what you're asking me. I just skipped a bunch. Leviathan and Robo Tank. All right. Notes. Leviathan and Robo Tank. Okay, I'll take a peek. Valhalla with a 67 and a 45. Is it possible to have too much light for Duncan Coral? Yes. My Russian showers clothes seem to be fine with current light setting. My other theory is that the hermit crabs won't leave it alone. Totally possible. Reef Doink. I am leveraging Moki's recent experience with his acans, with his micromuses, where if he turns up light, and he's really running low par on his tank, but if he turns up a light a little bit, then his acans will close up. It's totally possible that it's light sensitivity. You just got to sort of scooch it up a little bit, right? Candyman, roadie question. What happens if you run the BRS 4-stage at 95 PSI versus 80? Nothing. It'll work just fine. I do it. I think I'm running 90 PSI. You'll be fine. The membrane should be able to handle 100. Well, look them up. They're probably 100 PSI. They're probably more than that. I thought I remember them being 120, but don't take my word. Go look them up. See what the membranes can handle. All right, Chris, get your shit together. Put some water in your tank. Hurry up. Again, May, thank you so much. Can you add trace to calc? Anthony Rodriguez, I know a guy, and I'm going to ask that question. Hit me up later. Hit me up later in the week. Yes, but you can't add all trace because some are positive and some are negative ions, if I have my information correct. So you would still have to have a separate bottle. So maybe you can add. Then you're going to want to keep it homogeneous, right? You're going to want to stir it up to make sure it stays all blended in real good. So that's when you start getting, and I don't get the prices for calc stirrers because we can do that cheaper, right? And we're gonna, but you should be able to do that, Anthony, but not all of the trays. Why did I pour eating nudibranchs in my tank? Ugh, 6-line? Can you throw a RAS in there? That may help. Chris said he wants you to keep all. Lynn, I already have the GSP, and we're good to go. So you don't have to give me any. But thanks. It has taken over a good portion of the frag tank. So I got it. Got you covered. Yeah, I make my own for sure. Lithium batteries. So lithium or lithium iron phosphates? I don't like lithium. Like 18650s? These things? These are scary. These catch on fire, and I don't like these. But lithium iron phosphates, I love those because they won't catch on fire. They won't burn down your house. The last thing you want to do is the battery you made catching your house on fire. That'll get you the stink eye. See, Carlos, calcium reactor. The boom Russian light, that looks cool. So yeah, I gotta check that out. If lead acid batteries were good enough for James Watt, they're good enough for me. I mean, whatever. To which I offer, whatever. Won't burn through DI resin. No, in fact, Candyman, you may actually lower your conductivity coming out of your so turn off the pump and you'll see that the conductivity coming out of your membranes is higher. Turn on your pump and you'll find that the conductivity coming through your membranes is lower. I mean, if you should have a meter on there. You should be able to know what the water coming out of your membranes is. Just do a little playing, do some checking. Beam Russian light. I don't like expensive lights. B, you know that. How do they add A and K to all for reef? Must be a chemistry thing. It is, and I don't know how. Whatever, I suck at this. Nam is selling me his calc stir for 50. That dude is awesome. Yeah. He's checking out, right? Oh, pour one out for your homie Pelfrey. Jason's out too. He was a good dude. He and I talked a little bit. Nice guy. My husband has a garage full of those batteries. Which? 18650s? As long as it's a garage. Is there a nice wall between the garage and the house? I know you are. I know you're messing with me. Freaking lead acid batteries. Lead acid batteries have zero place in the reefing hobby. Come on. Unless you run an apex dose. If you run an apex dose and you like it, then lead acid is for you. That's a douchey thing to say, isn't it? The aquatic life smart buddy. Always great, Jim. All right, man. Later, Bert. LED bars. I was going to replace my 4T5. Yes, do. With the Reef Bright, but I guess that's not a good option. Well, it is a good option. You'll get similar spread and very low par, like what you're used to. But if you don't want to spend $160 on a 24-inch bar and you just want to spend $45 on a 24-inch bar, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with the AliExpress bars. Spend $60 and get them custom, get a custom spectrum. I'd go with 3. I would go 420, 450, 470. and get 2 of those, and you'll be blown away at the pop and the par. Super expensive. What's super expensive? The bars that I'm talking about, the AliExpress bars aren't. All right, what time we got? Oh, it's time to go. It's 9 o'clock. We yammered on enough. Cool. So, congrats, Chris. That's awesome. It's also hilarious. And I suppose that's it. Remember, keep it budget. I'm going to make a budgeteer shirt. I created a new Instagram account called Reef Budgeteer. Reef_budgeteer. Budget tier. You could buy 3 Popular Grow for the price of a Reef Bright. Oh, yeah, you totally can, Anthony. Anthony knows. Anthony Rodriguez knows. You could buy 3 of those AliExpress bars for the price of a Reef Bright, and it's built better. The build quality is way better. I'm not messing around. I took apart the Reef Bright, and I was like, what? This is junk inside. AliExpress bar, built better, will last longer, and it's like the third of the price. All right, what do we talk about? Budgeteers. Roger that, the budgeteers. Could I think of a control system that can replace an Apex? Yeah, GHL. All day long. I have Reef Keeper, eCoral, 2 GHLs, 3 Apexes. One's broken. And I will go GHL all day long. So, yeah. If you don't want an Apex, get a GHL. All right, y'all. What's this? Anyone will have a link? I'm just curious how I would hang them. Have a link for the lights? Hit me up on Instagram. Are you on Instagram? If you hit me up there, I'll absolutely send you the link. Show. Oh, another moderator handled this. Easy to modify as well. Yeah, totally. This is the rebellion against the cartels of the industry. This is Tristan going to get me in trouble. I'm gonna have to walk around with Moki as my bodyguard at a show. This is Night Sleeves. This is this is options. These are options. There are options. We have options. We don't have to do it the way we're told. We don't have to overspend. We don't have to pad the pockets. We can make educated decisions. And like some equipment is really good, and I totally support it. And some equipment is not really good, and it's just hyped, right? So, or like stuff like this. This is stupid. Pump clean is so much more expensive than this. Their argument is, well, it's safer. How? Tell me why it's safer. Tell me what about your citric acid makes it safer. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. Any questions you have, I'm happy to try to help. If I can't figure it out, I'll absolutely send you someplace who may be able to help. And remember, it's just options. Hey, if you want a link to the light, if you go way back in my videos to Boxes and Booze 06, there's a link in the description. There's also a couple others since then, but I know Boxes and Booze 06 has one. 2080 about them. Yep, totally. 20 mil extruded aluminum works great. Thanks, Algae Warrior. My pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, I'm jumping off. Wait. What is the new Insta? It is, there's nothing posted there. It is Reef_budgeteer. I can type that, right? I don't have to keep saying it. I can do Reef. And I haven't posted anything. That. So any cheap stuff I do, I'm going to link over there. Taylor, thank you. You as well. It's still there, right? It's still there. Oh, I didn't do any work today. I'm going to be in trouble. Yep, Lynn's got it. She just started following. That's it. You'll see it. Okay, y'all. I think I'm going to bail. And y'all have an awesome. Lynn, thank you so much for offering up the frag pack. That's really cool of you. And I have some to add if you would like. I have some extras of things that have survived. Chris, congratulations. Get your ass in gear. Come on, son. Get it done. Get some water in that thing. Throw some Dr. Tim's and let's go. And I got your shipping, Lynn. Number 2 photo spot. Yeah, I got the... yeah, right on. Thanks, y'all. And I will, like I said, I'll be posting any of the cheap stuff I do over there. You're going to see it on my main page, too, as well. I just want to create a place where all the budget reefing stuff can go, even if it's not mine. Even if I find something awesome that I want to share, it can go there, too. More GSP, roger that. Okay, cool. I hope y'all have a great week. I hope you're doing well. Hope your family's well, as always. Happy reefing. And this is the awkward time where I have to figure out how to close the stream out. Happy reefing and be kind, everyone. Thanks. Have a good night. Where's the button? There it is.